thank you for joining us. We are recording this, so we'll send it out to everyone who isn't able to be with us. We did have a lot of RSVPs for this, so hopefully we'll have a few more people joining us. My name is Jordan Giles. I'm work obviously for the foundation in the development department. I work with Laura and Meredith. And I just have a couple of little housekeeping things. We've got a couple of upcoming events that I just wanted to put on your radar as far as the foundation is concerned. We have a little bit of a break right now as far as our campaigns, but our next campaign will be Giving Tuesday, which is the first Tuesday after Thanksgiving. And then we have our annual Candles for the Cure campaign, which will be the month of December. And we'll send out more information for those of you that are kind of new to CCF. Candles is kind of a fun and kind of a special campaign where you can light a candle either in honor or in memory of someone. And we have this kind of cool map where you can see different candles lit all over the world, and so it's kind of a cool thing. And we'll obviously be sending out more information as we get closer. I also wanted to just put on your radar, if you are wanting to be a volunteer and do more advocacy related things, we do have next week hi Christina. We have a meeting next week at 5 p.m. Mountain Time on, what day, Cindy? Tuesday? I didn't write down the day.
Sorry, our next meeting is going to be next Tuesday, the 15th.
At 5 p.m. Mountain.
Right, 5 p.m. Mountain.
Yep, anybody's welcome to join that. And if you have questions, Cindy will do that. And then one of the things, we didn't do this last time, but there's more of us here. But I wanted to take a quick minute and just do some introductions. And so if you can tell us where you're from, and if you are a patient or a caregiver, and we'll try to be brief, but we just want to kind of learn more about everyone. So I'm just going to go according to the order on my screen. So Meredith, you're first.
Hi, my name is Meredith McGuffage, and I'm a member of Team CCF, and we do fundraising through fitness.
Thanks. Cindy?
Hi, I'm Cindy Thomas, and I'm the volunteer program assistant on staff. I work part-time. I've been with the CCF Foundation for a little over 2 years now, and that's a little bit about me.
And real quick, you'll tell us where you're from. So Meredith is out of Chicago. Right. Cindy's out of Boise, Idaho. Mm-hmm. Allison.
Hi, everyone. I'm Allison Darragon, and I am living in Idaho right now, so Southeast Idaho, if you've never heard of it. But I am the communication specialist for CCF. So she'll be doing a little presentation, but any social media questions, she's the expert. John.
John McDonald. I live in Taylor, Texas. This is the third year we've done Michelle's 5K race.
Thank you. Eric.
Yeah, Eric Parker. I've been involved in the CCA for like 3 years, and although not much lately, my involvement has been really focused on Jingle for Janet in memory of my late wife, who passed in October of 18. And we pulled one off on the Christmas Eve in 2018, and then the second one last year, and we're gonna have a third one this year. So I wanted to see if I could cut back on some of the time it takes. That I've thrown so much time at it. I'm just I need ideas. But both years we've done it so far, $6,700.
Great.
And went into the bank account here locally, and then it cut the check to the foundation.
Thank you, Eric. And Meredith is going to be reviewing some of our new tools that should help cut on your workload. So,
great.
Yeah. Rob.
Hi, my name's Rob, and I'm joining you all from San Diego, California. I'm relatively new to the organization because my dad was diagnosed in May of this year. And so I'm caregiver advocate for him. And I think that's all the questions, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Rob. Barbara.
I am Barbara DuPont. I'm from Derry, New Hampshire, 35 miles north of Boston. I've been with the foundation since 2007. I lost my husband in 2007, and I'm on the board of directors, and it's quite an incredible foundation, and it's been a heck of a journey and full of lots of great people. Those of you right in front of my face right now.
Barbara. Laura.
Hi everyone, Laura, Nat. I'm on the staff with Jordan and Meredith and Cindy, and I work in communications and development. I've been on the team since February, and I live in Cleveland, Ohio.
Thank you. Teresa.
Hi, I'm Teresa Del Corso Elman. I live in Montclair, New Jersey, which is outside of New York City. And my husband was diagnosed with cholangiocarcinoma in 2015, and he passed away in 2019 in March of that year. And I've been doing some volunteer work with the foundation for the past couple of months.
Thank you, Teresa. Heidi.
I live in Mandeville, Louisiana, which is just 30 miles north of New Orleans. I am next month will be a 9-year survivor of this cancer. I've attended 2 conferences, and took me 6.5 years to meet anyone with my cancer. And now I'm an advocate for this. I'm a fundraiser. I had a very successful first year Oktoberfest. Had about 1,200 people attend, made $13,000, and we're working on a virtual Oktoberfest this year.
Thanks, Heidi. Christina.
Hey everyone, I'm Christina. I live in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm originally from Massachusetts, and I lost my husband this past Christmas to cholangiocarcinoma at the age of 35. And we just hosted our first event, which I'll be talking about later, in honor of Matt, called A Matter of Hope around his birthday.
Thank you. Marcia.
Hi, I'm Marcia Goldstein. I'm a 5-year survivor as of this month. Yeah. I'm a patient. I live in Tarpon Springs, Florida, which is part of the Tampa Bay coastal area, Gulf Coast area. Been working with the foundation as a volunteer now for about 4 years, mostly with the Cholangio Connect, and doing some advocacy in the area, talking to doctors and patients.
Thanks, Marcia. Laurie.
Hi, I didn't put myself on video because I didn't even do my makeup today.
Oh gosh.
But you all know me as the person that sends the receipts and takes the donations in, so I'm the development coordinator.
And we are neighbors, so we live close here in Utah. Christopher.
Hi, hello. I am Christopher Dunstan. I'm a certified professional life coach, specializing in emotional intelligence, and I live in Hilo, Hawaii. Wow. And I had actually have no idea what this group is about, but I was sent an email from a very close friend of mine that I've known my entire life. I've known him since I was 4 years old, and he sent me the link. Or he sent me the email, so I just immediately signed up for it because, you know, he's my friend, he's my brother, and so I was like, oh, it's got to be something good. So I'm here to hear about what it is that you guys do.
Okay, welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Megan.
Hi, my name is Megan. I am in San Diego, California as well. Hey, Rob. My mother was diagnosed with cholangiocarcinoma in August of 2019. I've been following your guys' foundation for a few months. This is the first time I've joined a call or joined anything, and I'm just really excited to meet you all and work with you.
Well, welcome. We're glad you joined us. And Patty, I know you just jumped on, but we're just doing a quick introduction of if we're, a patient caregiver and where we're from. Are you there, Patty? Okay. Well, thank you. We have a geographically diverse crowd on here, so thank you all for joining. And I feel like this is kind of a...
Can I chime in real quick? I failed at saying where I'm from.
Yes, go ahead. Wisconsin? Okay.
And the fundraiser is a local hometown fundraiser, but it had a component of a remote runner. It's a 5K race and a remote runner, and you could be anywhere in the world and do it if you wanted. So that it's hard to, I found that hard to market. So yeah, I'm looking for ideas for that. It's a hard thing for people to understand. They don't have to be in Waterford, Wisconsin to do the darn thing. They want.
Yeah.
So yeah, any ideas along those lines would be appreciated.
Well, great. Well, we'll definitely be covering a few things that I think will be helpful. So thank you for adding that. Well, let me just review the agenda real quick. So Meredith is going to talk about, in July, we had our Moving for the Cure fundraiser, just a little bit of the things we learned. She's going to cover that for a couple minutes. Then we'll hear from Christina, who concluded a very successful A Matter of Hope event that she talked about. After Christina, we'll hear from John McDonald, who also had a successful event. He's just going to give a few thoughts, and then we'll go to that point. So, Meredith.
Wonderful, thank you. Eric, I can totally understand what you're talking about. My role with Team CCF is the coordinator to organize runners and help them raise money through fitness. And because of COVID, things have really changed. And Moving for the Cure was born out of the thought that we wanted to engage the cholangio community to raise money for the foundation still through fitness. So this virtual event allowed participants in any area of the world, any age, with any athletic ability to raise money through an athletic event of their choosing. We said that you could bike, run, walk, host a dance party, rollerblade, anything to get moving, anything that you want to do. It could be done as an individual or with your family. So without doing a virtual event before, we were not sure about the response. In the end, we were pleasantly surprised. We had 26 states participate. We had an additional 4 countries, including Australia, Canada, Singapore, and Malaysia. It was quite incredible. Participants ranged from 17 months old to 89 years old, which was Laura's mother. It was amazing. We had 35 teams, making about a total of 160 participants. And in the end, Moving for the Cure raised $55,000 in online donations and sponsorships. What we learned was, we were very worried that people may not be able to donate or raise money in this challenging time, and we were just completely wrong. And Rob can attest, he was one of our participants, and I've told him this, he came to me and said, I signed up as a family, I don't know if I can raise that much, I want to sign up as an individual. And we switched it, and he signed up as an individual, which lowered his the amount that he had to fundraise, that we asked him to fundraise. But in the end, Rob was our highest fundraiser. I don't know the exact dollar amount right now, but it was over $6,000, and he was our Team CCF VIP or MVP for the day for the event. It was quite amazing. So you just never know what you can do until you try it. So I think what I've learned is that communication is key. Participants want to feel part of an event. They want to feel that it's in person. So what worked well was weekly emails, prizes and giveaways. At the end, we had an online award show. People were allowed to submit photos and videos that we shared, and it made it feel more like a community. And in the end, we also recapped the impact, the amount of money that was raised, and the number of participants that were involved. So I think that helped create a sense of belonging. Next year, I do want to communicate more. I think I'd like to have more prizes and giveaways. It made it a lot of fun. It was very engaging. People like winning just water bottles or t-shirts. We want to have a contest for the kids. We thought about decorating a bib contest for next year, just getting all ages involved. And then also, I'll talk about later, but we are partnering with Mobile Cause that will give participants, it's a fundraising tool, but it'll give participants a more robust fundraising page. They can text to donate, live stream, have ability to add multiple photos and videos. And then Cindy asked if I had any letdowns, and really with the event, I didn't have any letdowns. I was completely surprised and overwhelmed with everyone's participation. So I think it really worked out well. It looked like a lot of families were engaged and had fun, and we surpassed our fundraising goals, and we're very happy with the results. I got to meet a lot of great people. So in the end, it was great. So are there any questions?
Laura, is there anything you would add about Moving for the Cure as far as planning or process?
Yeah, I would just reiterate the communication piece. I think, Meredith's brainchild of coming up with this was really not just to raise money, but really to keep a community connected. There were so many people that were involved in Team CCF, either as donors or runners or in other ways, that felt a loss of connection because they weren't doing their marathons and weren't reaching out to folks to ask them to participate. So you're going to hear from John and Christina coming up. But I think the message of this meeting, if nothing else, is let's be positive. You know, we're all in this together. We all are facing the same circumstances, and let's create opportunities to create community and lift each other up through what we do. So I think if you haven't seen the video for Moving for a Cure, you can see how uplifting it was. It was a wonderful event. I think we were blown away by seeing some of the ways people were creatively participated, and giving them an outlet to sort of share that back with the other participants is really important. So again, I think some of the other event planners are going to talk more about that today, but we want you to be hopeful. So we know it's a challenging time, but you can do it, and we're here to help you. So keep on.
Meredith, could you quickly expound on your prizes that you talked about?
Yes, so what I did is I had incentive week. I was trying to get everybody to sign up before I had to order shirts, which I know is something you have to deal with too. You don't want to have too many shirts in stock. So I had an incentive week, and every day, if you had registered, every day I would pull out a name and someone would win a Team CCF water bottle. They were all Team CCF prizes. T-shirts, sweatshirts, things of that nature. So it was really to entice people to register. But I think for next year, I want to do a little bit more than just incentive week, just to get people engaged and excited about it. So that's what I did. And maybe that could help you too, to get registrations in by a certain deadline so you could order your shirts for any of your events.
All right. Thank you.
John, the other thing that Meredith did was we talked about it, and she opted that we go ahead and do bibs, even though people weren't, you weren't all running together, and it wasn't going to be a time to bib or anything like that. But we created the race bibs so people could write messages of hope and, just make it seem more like they were a part of something bigger than themselves. And she also presented medals and certificates to participants. And again, all of this was in an effort to make it feel like you were part of something bigger than yourself, even if you were running with just a couple family members, or if you were, doing a relay with the kids in the neighborhood, just so that you could be part of the entire group, even though we were competing in 22 different states, 26 different states, excuse me.
Yeah,
correct.
Away great bibs and medals too, John.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you get a medal?
I did. Yes, I
Okay.
got it hanging up right here. Yeah.
Okay. So yes, we did exactly the same thing. Well, I don't want to jump ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would add too is, I mean, we understand that it's, you know, it's a lot of work. But one of the things we tried to do is make sure that our follow-up messaging was as good as everything leading up, so that there were, you know, pictures, there were, you know, a follow-up thank you. We specific to our event, we had some, you know, awards and different things that we had done. So that was something that I think it also helped make it more memorable. Is you know, people didn't wonder, oh well, how did it go? Because we made sure that it was very clear how it went, and you know, and everything. So, is there any other questions for Meredith?
I just wanted to add, Jordan, sorry. This team is here to help you. So whether you've completed your event this year and you're thinking about next year, or you're on the, you know, the fence about planning a new event, this team's here to help you. And Jordan and Meredith and the team have created some toolkits. We're here just to talk through things, and you know, we can link you with other folks that are on this call, or other folks that are resources if you have questions about, gee, how on earth do I pivot to virtual from in person? So one of the reasons for this call is to make sure you all are aware of the resources we have, as well as to learn from each other.
Thanks, Laura.
Hey, I've got a question, if I could.
Yeah.
I guess I'm wondering, like, if you registered for that event, did you automatically get a T-shirt for that? And
Yes.
it did, like, who does all that?
Right. So we have a fulfillment house, and I picked out the shirts, and we designed them in-house, and we had sponsorships printed on the back. And so then Prodigy is our fulfillment house. They packaged everything together. So I ordered everything, sent it to Prodigy, and they put it in bags and sent it out.
And all of that cost was covered in our registration fee. So for our event, we had a couple of different things. So to register, there was a cost that covered, you know, our bare expenses, right? So you know, the shirt, and then some administrative things, and that you got, whether you raised, you know, extra funds or not. You know, you at least got your shirt, and that was a cost that was covered through that registration fee. And then, you know, we had a couple of different levels and different goals. For, you know, an individual, we'd ask you to raise X amount. If you're a family, we'd ask you to raise X amount. And so all of that was raised in extra, you know, went straight to the foundation for some of our, you know, research goals and that sort of thing. But we tried to come up with our registration price that would cover, you know, shipping of medals, shipping of every fixed cost, so that we didn't have to worry about, you know, not making any, you know, additional funds. So that was a strategy that we had, and Meredith spearheaded. So.
Okay. Well, that sounds like it's pretty well organized, and I've tried my best. It's kind of had the local feel to it, this fundraiser that I had, because I'm a coach at Waterford High School, and I have been having kids come for 6 years before that, just getting together to go for a run on Christmas Eve because everybody's in town. So, you know, I just kind of morphed it into this, you know, Jingle for Janet, and, you know, so this is, I guess I love hearing these ideas, because I want to be able to see if I can do that as well, you know, with the fundraising.
And Eric, you and I can talk offline too, and come up with ideas too to help out with passing out of the T-shirts and all that stuff, because I'm sure you have a ton of questions, and I'd love to help you with that.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions about Moving for the Cure? Okay. Christina, let's hear from you.
Sounds good. If my connection goes out, I'm really sorry. I live in an apartment building, and, you know, everybody uses the Wi-Fi right now, so it comes in and out periodically. So I apologize in advance. Hopefully it stays with me at least while I'm
Give her a second. Oh,
so
you're back.
just I hope the event that I'm talking about is in its inaugural year. Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Matter of Hope is in its inaugural year on Christmas Eve of 2019 at the age of 35.
Sorry to interrupt. Christina, you keep going out. If you turn your video off, it might help you stream a little bit better.
After
Christina, can you hear us?
son. So like many others, Matt's diagnosis came as a shock. He was young, he was fit, he was healthy, he had no correlating
Christina, you keep on going in and out.
condition.
Meredith, maybe you can, I'll send her a chat.
Okay.
Or Jordan, can you send a chat? It's disabled right now.
Yeah, I think we went off.
Or a text.
There she is. Christina, are you back? Maybe should we move on to John?
Yeah, let's have you go now, and then we'll work with Christina on her connection.
All right, there we go. So let me go back to your agenda. So Michelle's Hot Peeps beats CC. Started that 3 years ago. Michelle and I were together for a couple years. We got married in January of 2017. She was diagnosed in March and passed away in August. And if it could go wrong, it went wrong. And so I just had to do something positive and pay it forward, because it was just so absolutely heartbreaking and frustrating. So found the foundation as we were doing, as my daughter was looking for places to make donations when we were putting together Michelle's obituary. So that was our my first experience with the foundation. Belinda was just incredible afterwards. So Michelle worked for the YMCA for like 10 years. That's where we met. I continue to work out. I've worked out for umpteen years. So she still has a lot of friends. She taught so many people, and through her journey herself, she was able to identify with all the people that she was coaching and helping, and those were her peeps. And so it made total sense that, well, let's do, even though she didn't necessarily like to run, well, let's do a 5K. And that's how we got started with the 5K. And I don't remember actually who put me, and this kind of maybe answers some of Eric's questions. I don't know how I got associated with this lady, but this lady has, in a town about 45 miles away, they have a nonprofit, and what they do, they are called For the Love of Go. And it's very similar to what Meredith was talking about, just move, just do something. And they're a running group, and she, by being a nonprofit, she helps organize other 5K events, because she wants to see as many 5K events, 10K, whatever type running events. So she has a whole team that she runs with, and they come and they everybody makes a donation to them for the services that they provide, but she is very social media savvy. We created a website for Michelle's Hot Peeps. She also has a website for the Love of Go. And then this is a true sanctioned 5K event. So there is another group that we contract with through her called Athletes Guild, and they provide I can't think of the word, the things that you wear to actually do the automatic timing. And then they publish statistics of your time, where you fit, all the different age groups and everything else. So we have this one lady for the Love of Go that helps and does so much of the organization for us. I mean, they come and she has the cones. We set up with her directions, set up the course. She comes up the day before and runs the course. And then the Athlete Guild comes with the tags and actually does the timing of the event, and then reports it back to everybody and all the individuals. Again, through the race lady, through the Love of Go, in her locality, there is a person that does extremely high quality t-shirts. And so my daughter, in her work, had a professional designer at her company create our logo. So we provided the logo, had the person to do the t-shirts, and then, as Meredith said, worked on sponsors, and they go on the back of the shirts. Now, as Jordan also said, the registration covers the shirts, the medals, for the Love of Go donation, the Athlete Guild for the timing, covers all those expenses, and we make a little bit of money through the registration fees, but the main money is made through the sponsorships. And I guess that's probably common for all the others. And the sponsors, I would just say, and Christine can add to this, I'm sure, that don't be shy about asking people for money or donations. We all have a goal, we all have a story to tell, and the worst they can say is no, and you may be very surprised at what they will say. And back to this year, I was to the point in March that, man, should I even continue with COVID and the economy and everything else? And I had I like to plan way ahead. So being the third year of the event, I start sending out my ask letters to my biggest donors, sponsors, in January. And so then here comes March and COVID and the economy, and so I asked one of my long-term donors, good friend, and I said, well, here's what I'm thinking of, should I cancel it? I mean, what do you think? He said, I don't care if you have the race or not. Says the donation, it's, to the cause. And I said, really? He said, yeah, I don't care. And I said, well, what do you think about the virtual event? He said, sure. If you think that's the way to go because of safety, do it. And so I went to another one of my platinum donors, and they didn't care. So that really energized me. And that, jumping ahead, that was probably one of the best things that happened, is the response from people that, no, heck, they knew me, they know Michelle, they were donating to the cause, and don't worry about it. And then there were some that, of course, through the economy, no, I just can't do it this year. I said, fine, we'll see you next year. Don't worry about it. So that was I think the surprise. And I don't know that there was, the only disappointing was that there was, as Meredith's already talked about, there was a number of people who for whatever reason, they want that personal feel. They don't want to do a virtual event. And I don't know that we can coerce them, convince them to do a virtual event if they don't want to. But I think there's enough people out there that with the right publicity that we can make up for it. Let's see, what else? We raised almost $11,000 this year. So we raised more money. This is our third year, so we had fewer people and we raised more money. And that is due in large part because it had more sponsors the second year than they did the first year. And with a virtual event, don't forget your expenses will generally be lower because I didn't have to have the timing. As I think it was Meredith already said, we waited to order medals and shirts after everybody had registered, so I didn't have to worry about extras. And back to Meredith's comment, the race lady told me, because now they're having a lot of virtual events, and she said not t-shirts, because frequent runners, and Rob probably could speak to this, frequent runners, they get a shirt all the time. They don't care about the shirts, but it's the medal that people want. So if you're going to have a virtual event, you have to do a medal. You may or may not have to do a shirt. And that would be the recommendation, and that seemed to be true. We had more people that wanted the medals than the shirts. Of course, the local people, the people that know us, know Michelle, her peeps, yeah, everybody wanted a shirt.
I think it's always nice to have a giveaway. Like I've thought about doing socks or a hat, something that doesn't have to be sized, so it could fit anybody. But yeah, metal is key for a lot of this, and some sort of giveaway.
Right, and back to the comment about the bibs, the race lady takes care of all that. So yes, as Meredith can attest, and Rob, you got a bib, so you had a number and everything else, and it was great because she has a postage machine. So we met up halfway, and my sister-in-law and I, Meredith, Michelle's sister, and I drove and met her. She had everything postage, and we put the shirts and medals together and mailed them off. And it took like half an hour. So again, Eric, there are people, I'm sure wherever you are in Wisconsin, there are people that run races, put on races, promote races, maybe the better word. So if you want to expand and take a lot of the pressure off of yourself, I would just do some Google searches and see if you can't find those people, because I'm sure they're out there in your area.
Well, yeah, the timing system is done by a fellow coach of mine. So he does all the race day event.
Okay.
And I had a question of what is the registration fee that you were charging for like a 5K?
I think it's well, let's see. This year, because it was virtual, if you just wanted the medal, it was 15. Is that correct, Meredith? And if you wanted the shirt and medal, it was 30. And that included the cost of the medals and the shirts and the postage and the whole bit. And we actually made a little bit on top of that. And as an aside, I have a sponsor that covers all the cost of the medals. So, but $25, $30, I think, is the normal for us in Texas. That's, pretty standard, I think.
Yeah, I thought I remembered it being about $25, and I thought it was $10 for shipping. I was trying to find my receipt because I did the receipt too.
To the point about the shirt, I do remember that there was a supplemental option. So the $10 was like a $10 add-on. Like, so there was a
for the shirt,
$15 or $25 or something for the registration.
Yeah, that sounds right. So so it's 15 for the registration, which means you automatically got a medal. Everybody gets a participation medal, and then if you want the shirts, another $10.
And I think there was an option where you asked for like additional donations. And so then if we rejected the shirt option, as you kind of pointed to, then it made sense to then just donate that part to the organization.
That is correct. The Athlete Guild, the one that does the timing, is the one that also handles the registration. And so we added yes, do you want to just do a donation? And some people just do a donation, they don't even want to participate, which is great. But the one thing I would like to add, and I know the race person has talked about this, is some sort of substantial raffle type. Now, I know you can run into problems with that with the postage service, but that may be another way to get people to participate. Give a little bit more. Maybe they don't want to make a donation. A lot of people just want to win. They don't care. Just here's $20 if I can win something, sure. So if there's any ideas about that, and maybe Christine has some of those types of ideas, because I'm pretty sure you did a raffle, right?
Yes. Are you talking to me, Christina?
Yes.
Yeah. So we did a silent auction, if that's what you're thinking of, maybe.
Okay. So it's a silent auction instead of a raffle.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't do a raffle. But I'm glad you can hear me. That's good.
Hey, I was, the medals that I gave out last year and the year before actually were only for the top 3 in each age group. We didn't give out participation medals. This is an interesting idea. I hadn't even thought of that. Medals to first, second, and third place, or
typically yes, except when it becomes virtual. We were told that that's when everybody gets a participation medal.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. Normally I would not do that, but for a virtual race I would.
Correct. Mm-hmm. And as we have learned, we're gonna hopefully, we hope and pray that we'll have an in-person event next year, but we're going to keep the virtual component as well. So we're going to have to think about, how do we do that? Do you just have the participation medal as well? And maybe that's what we do. I don't know. But I think, and she says, the race lady says, oh yeah, every race from now on is going to have a virtual component. So that's a lesson learned.
It's good advice.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions for John? Any other questions?
I have a question, John. How are you doing your race differently from in-person to virtual? How are you kind of publicizing that? How did you first break out and get this race out into the public eye?
Well, that's the lady that's the race promoter helped. She had a number of sites that she manages. She also has their own For the Love of Go. Because Athlete Guild was the one doing the registration. And then we had our own Michelle's Hot Peeps Beat CC website on Facebook. So we have a number of Facebook avenues through the timing company. They keep when you sign up, as Rob knows, when you sign up, you have to give your email address, right? So we could take all those email addresses from the last 2 years and just send out email blasts. And we did that, I think, 3 times up until the very last of the event. So we were trying to hit them as many different avenues as possible in different ways. And again, that's where the race promoter and the timing company help, because we can leverage, and Meredith and the CC Foundation did a great job of promoting our event as well.
Any other questions for John? Okay, looks like Christina's joining us. Christina, can you hear us? You are on.
I am having terrible luck today with connecting, which luckily didn't happen during my event. Okay, sorry about that, guys.
You're good.
So I'm connecting on my phone now, and I'm reading off of my computer, so I apologize. And I'll try to make this really snappy because I probably have very limited time now. But just to give everybody a little bit of background, I don't know how much you heard when I was going in and out. But A Matter of Hope, which is the event I'm talking about, is in its first year. So we just had our first event on August 15th, which was my husband's birthday. Well, the day after my husband's birthday. Matt passed away on Christmas Eve of 2019 at the age of 35. He was diagnosed with cholangiocarcinoma when he was 34, a week after the birth of our son. And, you know, I noticed that after Matt had passed, we had a lot of support from our community, from other people. He had almost 500 people come out for his services. And just within that, we knew that there was, you know, a community that was just looking to do more. And they kept asking, you know, what can we do? What can we do? And, you know, like many of you, I'm sure that you've experienced, most people had never heard of this kind of cancer before. You know, there were all of these questions. How did we not know about this? And so that really kind of got my wheels turning. And I really felt like, you know, with Matt physically not here to fight this anymore, it was kind of up to me to continue doing that for him. So my friends and family, we got together and we have a little committee called the A Matter of Hope Committee. And our event was originally planned to be a really big in-person epic summer party, as we like to call it, with live music, beer, food, games, a live band, a silent auction. And, you know, we put a lot of time into planning this, and we had people traveling from all over. We started advertising in early February. And then, you know, 3 weeks later, a pandemic hits. And we were like, okay, well, hopefully this will, you know, be gone in a month and we won't have to worry about it. Our event isn't until August. But, you know, as the weeks progressed and things got a little bit more difficult, our whole team decided to really just start thinking about, okay, what, in the event that we can't do this big in-person event, what can we do? And, you know, we were pretty committed to still having this event on August 15th because of Matt's birthday. And we really tried to keep him at the forefront of everything we did. So we basically broke the event down into all of the different aspects of the event and started to think, okay, what can we do to virtualize this or to make it hybrid so that it really became scalable? And so I have a few things. Can you guys hear me? Okay, good. Sorry, buzzed out a little bit, so I thought I lost you again. So we thought of ways we could still hold this epic summer party regardless of travel, size, and social distancing restrictions. So when we broke down the event to different components, we started to think of alternatives so that we could still have the same feel, but allow people to basically celebrate wherever they are, whatever comfort zone they had or comfort levels they had, and whatever the state restrictions they had at that point were. So that's when we came up with the concept of A Matter of Hope hubs, which are just basically little summer parties that people could throw together. You could, you know, it could be 2 of you hanging out in your living room, or you could have 15 people at a cookout in your backyard. We tried to make it so that every component of our event was easy to do small scale, and if we wanted to grow it, it could be larger scale too. And everyone would connect in virtually via Zoom and through social media throughout the day so that we could stay engaged with each other while still kind of letting people do whatever they wanted to do, you know, celebrate however they wanted to celebrate, fundraise however they wanted to fundraise. So a few things that we did to encourage more of the togetherness. We had the A Matter of Hope tank tops and t-shirts. So it started out as tank tops because you see pictures of my husband, most of them he's either not wearing a shirt or he's wearing a tank top. So since I didn't want to encourage nudity, I decided that the tank top was the way to go. So we started off with tank tops and they were a big hit, and then a bunch of people ordered t-shirts. So we sold those beginning in June, I believe. And it was just a really nice way to get people to participate, even if, you know, they weren't going to travel or couldn't tune in or whatever. And then to supplement some of the adult beverages that we planned on having that day. We worked with a company called One Hope Wine, and they donate a portion of their proceeds with these through fundraisers to a nonprofit of choice. And I signed up as a cause entrepreneur too, so I donated all of my commission to that as well. So up to about 30% of our wine sales went to our Matter of Hope donation, and we raised a few $1,000s just through that, which was fantastic. And then what else did we do? We had a virtual silent auction, so we found a platform online, and I really love the platform we use. So if anyone is entertaining the idea of doing a silent auction, I'd highly recommend it. It's called 32 Auctions, and it just really helped kind of, you only have to do it once, so you don't have to sign up for like a year subscription. And we were able to basically upload all of our silent auction items. People could go in, they could bid. You could see when you're getting outbid, which is kind of cool. And they handle all of the payment processing. Really, we handled all the shipment of prizes. So that went really well. And then we also did a social media scavenger hunt, which was really fun, inspired by Matt. So we had a list of items that people would take pictures or videos of that somehow correlated to Matt, and they would post them on either Facebook or Instagram, and they would use the hashtag #MoHopeHunt. And we had a contest that day for that. So it was just a fun way to kind of bring the activities of the day into some sort of cohesive plan, but still, again, give people the flexibility to be celebrating their own way. And then our band decided to do a Facebook live stream for about an hour that we were able to broadcast to people too. So we still had that entertainment level that we planned on having originally. So really, we had all of these different parts that we were filling. And then the thought was, okay, well, how do we make this easy for people to access? So we actually built an event landing page that housed all of the links to the events. It has the Zoom link where we all connected in together periodically. And it had some like recipes and drink recipes and just anything correlated to a Matter of Hope we had on this event landing page. And if you supported us somehow, whether you bought a ticket or purchased a t-shirt or bought wine, as long as we had your email address, you had access to this landing page, which really, ended up being a great resource for a lot of people and made it easy for them to participate and get to all the links throughout the day. So, it was a really fun day, and that was the purpose of it. The core of our event was really supposed to be inspired by Matt. So every time we think of something, we're like, well, is this something Matt would enjoy? And we kind of go through that. And that's how we came up with this idea. So at the end of the day, we ended up having over 33 known hubs. So we encouraged a lot of people, if you were having a hub, let us know so we could put you on our map. And if anyone goes to our it was on the event landing page actually, but you go to the event landing page, we had an actual map. You could see where all of the hubs were, which was really neat. And they were all across the country, and we actually had 3, I believe, international ones. We had one in Thailand, England, and Estonia, which was really cool. And we had 205 tickets sold, and we raised $20,019.05. And I think it actually might be more because people directly donated, and I've had a few more trickle in, but that's the last known number. And if anyone goes to our website, amatterofhope.org, you can actually see a real-time update of our donations, the number of tickets we sold, the number of hubs, which was really fun as we got closer to the event, because we'd post on social media, can we make it to 10K? Can we make it to 15K? And really just to encourage people to continue donating, continue supporting in whatever way they could. And so I would say, our biggest takeaways was really just, for me, I think we were so successful because we were so flexible and we were creative in thinking, how can we make this scalable? And I'm pretty sure Meredith might have talked about this. I know she mentioned on the last call. But it was really important to us that above all, we had a lot of participation. So we made it really easy for people to be able to participate. All tickets were donation based, so people could pay $10 or people could donate $200. And we really ran the gamut on how much people wanted to donate for their ticket purchase. But it gave them the flexibility, to still be able to support us in whatever way they could, even if they couldn't necessarily afford a $70 ticket, or they wanted to donate more, and this was a really good way for them to do it. So I think that was huge for us. And I think the collateral that we had leading up to it unified it. And, we communicated a lot. And it's my marketing background probably, but, when we decided we were going to do this, I'm like, okay, well then we have to make, an Instagram account, we have to have a Facebook account, we have to make a website. And I kind of had my normal list of what I would go over, and we created this. And, I identified in those areas the friends that were helping me, who's really good at this, whose strong suit is this, and really kind of help engaged with them to get some help. So it wasn't just, everything on me too. And I think that really helped as well. And then things for next year that I would think, I have quite a few take.
I'll give her one more second, see if she hops back.
I'm dying to hear the ideas for next year.
We will have her write those up and we will send those out. If that works. Thank you, John. Thank you, Christina can't hear us, but we're grateful for these two examples. So if you were on the call before, it was interesting to see the transition. So our call a couple of months ago was, the transition from a physical event to a virtual event, but neither of these events had happened. And so once they had happened and they were so successful, we wanted to make sure that, we had a follow-up call of, what actually happened and how it went. And so thank you, John, and thank you, Christina. We'll just kind of wrap up here. We've got kind of 3 more things on the agenda. Meredith is going to do a little short presentation on Mobile Cause, which is a new tool that's going to be available to anyone who's going to host their own event or, wants to contribute to event or that sort of thing. It's a very dynamic tool. We're very excited. It's going to simplify a lot of things. So if you don't have a marketing background like Christina and know how to set up a website and do all those things that she did, this is an option for you. And it'll be a free option. So we're very excited about it. So Meredith is going to talk for a couple minutes about that. And then Allison is going to talk about a couple best practices for social media. And then we want to just open it for any broad questions. Everybody's welcome to stay on or sign out at that point, but we can have some detailed conversations about your event. Christina, you're back. Okay, do you want to give us your takeaways real quick?
Me?
Yes.
Sorry. I don't know what is going on, but anyway, so my takeaways.
Oh. We're not going to get them. Okay.
What I would change for next year, did you guys?
Sorry, Christina, you're coming in and out. You're going in and out again.
Okay. You know what? I will write them to somebody.
Perfect. Thank you so much. If you'll write those, you can either send them to Cindy, probably Cindy will be our contact. Thank you. And Meredith, I'll go ahead and make you the host and you can.
Sure. Yeah, I don't even have to share my screen. I'll just talk through the points. So in this new reality of working remotely and supporting our third-party fundraisers like Matter of Hope and Michelle's Hot Bibs, and working more with social media, we had to take a hard look at our current fundraising platform, and we needed something a little bit more robust. And after speaking with a few companies, we settled on Mobile Cause. This will give us functionality for our third-party fundraisers. I know Eric Parker was asking about race registration, so they can do race registration through Mobile Cause. It allows for text communication on upcoming events, reminders for registration to events. It'll be a simple way to create fundraising pages for peer-to-peer fundraising with the ability to add multiple photos and videos. Internally, it'll give us more reporting so we can better review the needs of our volunteers and our fundraisers. And one of the greatest things, nicest things about it is allow for donors to text to an easy number and donate right there on the phone. So if you text to 7177, for example, you can just text 2020 Team CCF, and right on your phone will pop up a donation page. You can input any sort of information you want, and then text fields to donate right there and then. So it should give you a lot of flexibility, and I'm meeting for the first time on Thursday with Mobile Cause to be welcomed into it, and we'll roll it out to everyone in the next several weeks. So I'm very excited about it. Are there any questions? Wonderful. So maybe, Allison, I'd love to hand it over to you so you can talk about social media.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. I'll try to make it a little bit short because I know we're running behind. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay, I just got a message that my internet was unstable, so hopefully this will be good. But one of the biggest reasons, or one of the top tips that I would give when you are sharing your fundraiser on social media is to share your why. People love stories. People love hearing about your personal experiences, your personal connection with that. So sharing your story is huge. And I know a lot of times it can be hard to, ask for donations or put yourself out there. And, a lot of these experiences are vulnerable and they're hard to go through and hard to share. But I know that that's a huge part of my job that I love, is hearing those stories and making those connections and strengthening other people, because those stories give people hope and they inspire other people and encourage people to want to help out in any way they can. So that's definitely a number one tip that I would give when sharing your fundraiser on social media. And then we are on most social media platforms. So we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So another thing that I like to tell people is share your fundraiser or your event on the platform that you're comfortable with. If there is a channel, that you're wanting to try out, definitely feel free to message me or anyone. I'm happy to help you create it or whatever I can, but start where you're comfortable with. If you're on Facebook, start there. If you're, on Instagram and you feel comfortable with that, start there. And don't be afraid to reach out to people. If you're not comfortable with Instagram, but maybe you have a niece or a nephew or someone that's younger that's on there, reach out to them and see if they can help you. Another big thing is share with us. We love more than anything to share what you guys are doing. That is a huge part of what we do, and sharing your stories and your voices is so important to us. So if there's anything that we can do, or we can share it on our Facebook has about 14,000 people that are connected with us. So if there's an event that you're putting on that you just need maybe an extra push or would like us to promote it, we'd be happy. We'd love to do that. Another tip is use hashtags. Hashtags help conversations be more seen, and people can search hashtags. So a couple of main hashtags that we use are cholangiocarcinoma, bile duct cancer, cure CCA. Those are kind of our main top 3 hashtags, but people can actually search that. So a lot of people find out about the foundation through searching hashtag, and it also separates it into its own category so that you can see all of the events, everything that's tagged with a hashtag. And then just making sure that you tag the Cholangiocarcinoma Foundation as well, so that we can see what you're doing and we can reshare that. So if you log on to our main website at the very bottom, it has all of our social media handles there. You can just easily click on them, and that way you can follow the channels that we're on. And most of the time when you tag us in the social media channels, it would just be, you use the @ and cholangiocarcinoma and we'll pop up. So that helps us to see it, and that helps us to share your things as well. And And then I know several people have touched on it, but there are so many creative things that you can do with Facebook. You can do Facebook Live events so that people could feel like they're there, or it gives them a notification. Videos are great if you can share a video of your story or a video of what you're doing in your event. Even just pictures, you know, people love seeing pictures, seeing what you're doing with your event. And then goals are great too, so that way you can post updates, you know, kind of like Christina was talking about, setting a goal and saying maybe it's 350 and you're saying, hey, we're at 200, can you help us to get to 350, because that keeps people engaged, and then they see, oh, you know, my money is going to make a difference, or my donation can help them reach their goal. And another thing that can help your event that you're posting on social media be seen more, as well as just commenting again on your event. So say that you post, you know, your picture or your event link. If you go down in the comments and post, you know, an update like we're at 350 now, or maybe you post a picture and this is what we did for the event today, that helps the algorithms on Facebook, and basically it just helps it to be seen more. So obviously a blessing for, you know, this COVID and everything is that everyone is on social media. So it's a tool that we can use everywhere, but it is hard sometimes because we're bombarded left and right with just things all over through social media. But luckily there are a few things that we can do to make sure that our thing gets seen. So resharing your content or commenting on your content, responding back to the people, you know, that are saying, thank you for doing this, or I'm joining you, you know, liking their comments. And then another huge aspect that I'll probably just end with is just encouraging those that participate with your event to share your event as well. That is huge. I know even if, you know, people that you work with can't support your event through donations, ask them to share, because you never know who is going to be reached. You know, we each have our individual networks, and even if it's small, it might touch one person, and that person could, you know, maybe send in a $1,000 donation. You never know who it's going to reach. So I know I kind of went through that really fast, but those are a couple of kind of top highlights or things that I would suggest when advertising your events on social media. And I just wanted to say too that I am working on a couple of social media series videos that I'm going to be putting out through the foundation that are just going to go into more depth of some details for that. So be on the lookout for those too. And then if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. And if there's anything that you want to work on one-on-one, my email is just my first name dot last name at cholangiocarcinoma.org. So allison.daragon@cholangiocarcinoma.org. Yeah, feel free to email me, and I'm happy to work with you or answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Meredith. Well, so Allison did mention we're going to have some tools. I think Meredith mentioned it as well. So we'll have some trainings for Mobile Cause. We have, you know, we talked last time about, you know, this fundraising toolkit, which was almost there, but then we added Mobile Cause, and we need to do a little bit more training to explain the different aspects. And so we're very, very excited about that. But now we just want to open it up to questions. If you want to stay on, great. If you're ready to go, that's fine as well. And we're grateful that you joined us. But please feel free to ask any questions. We can be as detailed about your events as you'd like.
Thank you.
Jordan, can we have Barbara and Heidi just share, because they both have upcoming events, just a few minutes about what's upcoming?
Yeah, yep. Let's talk about upcoming real quick. Heidi, will you talk about your event?
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that I had a very successful Oktoberfest, and I really wasn't even thinking about how could you even have a virtual Oktoberfest until Christina and I have become friends. We got acquainted in January when they connected us, because my fundraiser was successful, so I was giving her tips. Well, now I've gotten all kinds of wonderful ideas from her and all her marketing skills. And so I'm going to have I'm trying to think of a fun German word for instead of hubs, maybe pubs, I don't know. I'm going to do something and have individual socially appropriate things. I'm going to see if I can get my German band to either do a FaceTime live or recording or something. So, because they're a really fun band, although I didn't like them at first because I was raised on real German beer drinking songs, and they polka-size like Lady Gaga, like Livin' La Vida polka, but they're really fun and people love them. I want to do have an Oktoberfest in a box. I'm still working on that. People can order specific things. There'll be some general things in it about cholangiocarcinoma, a story about why I'm doing this, information about how Oktoberfest got started, why I'm doing it personally, my relationship with the German thing. I want to put something with the Oktoberfest logo, or I don't know, maybe ordering something. They'll also have the opportunity to order some German food, bratwurst, my strudel and different things. I've got t-shirts ordered. I wanted to have something German and something with I have a nonprofit called Array of Hope. And we came up with peace, love, and Prost. And it'll be a peace sign, a heart, and a beer mug. But you have the option we can do for kids, a pretzel. And then on the back is my logo, Array of Hope. And hope is a green cancer ribbon. And it'll say Array of Hope for a cure. And then it'll say raising funds and awareness for bile duct cancer. And we're able to buy the shirts and printing for $6, which is amazing. So we're going to just pre-order all those. I've got a teddy bear. He's going to have a bib that says, I'm kicking cancers, but what's your superpower? And he's going to have a mask and a cape. And I've got 41. I've got ladies helping me. So we're going to sell these. I've got all these. I'm just telling everybody. I've been buying all these assorted duck things in every swimming ducks and armbands and stuff because I wanted to have a duck depot. So I'm hoping that people will be able to come drive around our church, pick up their stuff, and maybe do a little shopping and get some stuff. Instead of a scavenger hunt, I was trying to think about that, but instead I'm going to do a beer trivia contest. A contest where the German family dressed up, the cutest little kids, and just the person who raises the most money. So I'm trying to get it real interactive, and we'll have a Zoom for that. And if any of you have any ideas, please share them with me. I have so many other things going on. I'm getting really stressed. We're planning to do it on October 17th. And so I still have a lot that has to get done because I need to get busy advertising, and I got a lot of good social media ideas from you. So thanks. So that's basically it. It was so successful last year. And I believe that if I can pull this off and it's successful, I want to continue doing it because I can get people from, like, Christina said, people all over enjoying it and enjoying doing the chicken dance and the circle dance and all the fun German stuff, because it really is fun. And I think it could be successful even when we have a real one, and then we could Zoom live from the event too. So that's it. Thanks.
Heidi, Barbara,
Yes.
do you want to tell us a little bit about your event?
Muted.
Unmute. I'm good now. So I started my fundraiser back in 2012 on the 5th anniversary of losing my husband. And it's the Jacques DuPont Memorial Silent Auction and Live Auction. It's called Shopping for a Cure because we have it the Friday before Thanksgiving so people can start their holiday shopping. We started out really small in the basement of a church, and we had about 60, 70 people. We made all the food. We raised about $5,000, and we're like, wow, that was kind of easy. Then we moved it to my sister's restaurant, and for 2 years we had it there, raised about 8 and then 10. The venue got too small, and for the past this year would have been the 6th year, It's at a country club. We sell out completely at 250 seats.
Wow.
We're raising about $35,000 a year. So this would have been the 9th year. This coming November, we've raised about $200,000, and 100% of it goes right to the foundation. This year, we had to pivot, as everybody has, because of COVID. And so we couldn't have it this November. The country club is not doing functions that big. And a lot of our restaurants that were our sponsors and donors are closing their doors. So I sent out a beautiful letter, and letters go far. They will come back to you 100-fold, and it's all in your wording. And I just said to them, in June, I had to make a decision, and it was really hard for me to say we're going to postpone the event this year, because this is our year to take care of our locals, right? Our businesses need our help, and so we wanted everybody to support them. I have gotten things promised me for next year already because of this. So then I was like, okay, what am I going to do? This is like planning a wedding every single year. So I met with the country club virtually, and I said, I've got to do something to make up for this one. I'll have it November 2021, but I can't lose this money this year. This is me. This is what we do, my committee and I. So we're doing a golf tournament next June. It's already in the books. We already have 20 teams. I don't fool around. And that's called Golfing for a Cure. And we already have, I think we have 18 golf carts sponsored, but I already figured out I can get 4 sponsors per cart with the signage. And then we'll do holes, and we'll do a putting contest. We already have a vehicle for the hole-in-one.
Wow.
So once I have my mind on something and my committee starts with me, we're full steam ahead, because you can't wait till the end. But start small. Don't be afraid. You can't fail. If you make $100, you make $100. And if you make $1,000, you make $1,000. And it just adds up. And I'll be honest with you, now that it's so big, that night, at the end of the night, it's usually like 1 or 2 in the morning when we go to bed. And I say to myself, I can't do it anymore. I can't do this. But then I wake up the next morning and I went, I have to do this. This is what I do. And so I do. But, your thank yous, your pleas for the money, personalize it. I tell my husband's story. And now we just have a new letter going out. One of my committee members who's been on the committee for 8 years with me, her mother has just been diagnosed with cholangiocarcinoma, ironically, and she's with Lipica in Mass General. She's not doing well at all. But so now there's another one, and Lippy has spoken at our benefit. Dr. Badizi has spoken at our benefit. So they come up and they'll speak, and it's pretty amazing. But, all of you are doing great things, and, we've all had to pivot in COVID times, but we have to stay positive, because, the foundation needs us, the patients need us, and future patients need us. So, but if you have any questions, it's barbara.dupont@cholangiocarcinoma.org. I'll be glad to help you in any way I can. I don't usually come on these because they're really late. I'm on the East Coast. So
Thank you so much, Barbara.
You're welcome, Jordan.
Marcia, you had a question.
Marcia, you're on mute.
Okay, sorry.
No
How do
problem.
you? Thanks to the online conference, I've connected with some other cholangio patients in my area. But how do I reach out to other patients? I don't want to violate HIPAA, but I did leave word with my local oncologist, because I go back and forth between here and Houston, to see if I can get some other cholangio patients involved so we can do some fundraising. But is there a way through the foundation to just put something up on the board and say, hey, if you're in the Tampa Bay area, please contact me and let's see if we can do something together?
So we are working on a couple of opt-in patient, resources like that. So I don't know quite a timeline for that. I know that with Mobile Cause and with kind of our new event kind of process, that we are going to start having an event calendar where you can see that somebody's doing something in Tampa or somebody's doing something, and there'll be contact information. So from a development fundraising aspect, we're rolling that out here pretty quick. But as far as just kind of general kind of patient things, I know we've talked about it, but I don't have the timeline yet, but I can follow up. And so I'll make a note, Marcia.
Thanks, Jordan.
Yeah. Excuse me. Are there any other questions? And if not, that is totally fine. Megan, do you have a question?
Yeah, if I wanted to connect with you all to be able to virtually participate in your fundraisers and get my company to potentially, sponsor or match donations, or my team that I support, how can I connect with you guys?
So that is going to be part of our new process. But in the meantime, I am the contact person. So I can, help let you know what's going on. If you want to, sponsor a local thing or one of the, kind of the annual giving campaigns, there's lots of different things. So we can have a detailed conversation about some of the opportunities. So.
And if you want to take a trip to Boston, you can come up to my benefit.
Hey,
I would love to. I would love to be at all of your benefits.
Thanks.
It's so good to meet you all. I'm so excited to.
In Oktoberfest. Hopefully we'll do it next year. And I want some CCF people there next year. I know some we're going to try this year. So
I know. I want to come.
I'll be at all of them.
Hey, perfect.
Thank you.
Well, thank you everyone for joining. If are there any last call for questions? Okay. Thank you so much for each of you and your efforts. It's amazing us on the staff side to see the creativity and just, the dedication that comes through. And so thank you for all of your efforts. And please let us know, like Laura said earlier, we are here as resources. We're about to formalize several of these resources that you'll be able to reference in PDF form. But please always know that you can reach out to myself, Meredith, Cindy, Allison, any of the staff members, and we'll do everything we can to help you. So thank you so much, and we hope you all have a great night.
Nice seeing you all.
Thank you.
bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.